It's the Punk Unicorns Podcast with Nikki B and Mama K.
Girl.
We are feeling in love today, kids.
We
Why?
are.
Love is in the air somewhere. Hey, you guys, are you betrothed and looking for someone to get your ass hitched? Are you a fan of Halloween? I hadn't planned on this, but look at me go. On Beggars Night in Huber Heights, Ohio from 6 to 8 p.m., I am offering my ordainment services for free. Tips are appreciated.
Drive-through weddings
Drive-through weddings. And it is a legal wedding. I am ordained and registered with the state of Ohio. So it's a real wedding. Like, don't be coming over here. You know, I'm going to need your IDs, and I'm going to need your wedding or your marriage license.
5 miles per hour.
Right. We're going to roll up. I mean, you can get out if you like.
And if you
don't
see
have
a cop that looks like a Temu version of me, don't say hi to him.
Don't speak at all because you will make... It's like
It's not
Ursula.
actually me, it's my cousin, but we look a lot alike.
And Ursula might take your voice just like that areola fish.
Yeah, because he'll sound kind of like this.
Mm-hmm.
But me, and you'll think it's me.
Before we go any further, I cannot hold it together long enough. I've got some stuff for Nick.
Stuff for me? I feel so privileged.
I went Sunday morning shopping, and I got some things for Nick, and then I got home and I got to thinking, I wonder, and I sent a message, and that message was reply was, "Shoo, girl, give me 5 minutes." And I said, "Oh my God, really?" She said, "Yes, Queen." I said, "Okay." So then I took another Sunday morning walk.
Another Sunday morning walk.
So
2.
First off,
was this at the garage sale for Satan?
I watched this be made right in front of my own eyeballs because I was getting ready to walk away and go home, and I see something, and I was like, "Oh my God, Nick loves those. I gotta get that for Nick." And she's like, "Oh, well, what colors?" Well, he was at work, and it was so funny because we were standing there talking about him, and he sends me a picture of himself at work, and I was like, "Oh my God, he's got a work shirt on. He's at work, but let me send him this message." I was like, "Quick, tell me what colors you like." And then he didn't. I was like, "Fuck off, I'll make it myself."
Oh, thank you. It's so cute. Look, y'all.
Did I do okay?
Yeah, this is my favorite refrigerator color. And everyone knows I love octopuses and outer space planets.
And it's an ink pen, and it has
A refill.
refills in there.
A refill. And now, who made this for me?
Angel Bush Creations. Angel
Thank
comes
you,
to
Angel
your
Bush, and not to be confused with the other kind of bush.
right, and she is a patron of your facility. And yes, I have this lovely pin that I purchased that has like the skeleton and the little bandana on top, which has become like a symbol for me. And my daughter's like, "Look, Mom, it's you." And I'm like, "Okay." And then the head's sitting on a book, not because I can read or anything. It's because I use it to write down things I said, this is going to be my podcast pen. So then I go home and I start to thinking like, wonder what else she can make for me.
Coffee cups with big dicks.
She could absolutely do that. However, I had her do something else for me. There are 2 of these. You get to pick which one you want. Now, the other one, this is where I have some bad news and I have some good news. Okay? So,
You're like, I'm not going to tell you which one's broken yet. Yay!
Punk Unicorn Podcast bumper stickers. Okay? So, Nick, you get to pick out which one do you want?
Well, either will look good on the gray. I'll take the pink one.
The pink one goes to Nick. So, this one is going to be given to a viewer. Why, you may ask, am I not using this? Well, here's why. Because I am a cheer coach and I am affiliated with the school, and I don't want anything 21 and over on my core just because I don't need the football players gurgling it. And then
it's going to be on my door.
And then I'll be like, "Oh my God, yeah." So while I really, 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 really want to slap it on there, cautiously, with me being affiliated with the school district, I don't want anything 21
We should put it on.
plus.
Does Jordan have a car?
My Jordan?
Yeah.
My blind child?
Oh no. I didn't even think about that. I'm like, does he have a car?
So, we are going to put this on the podcast Facebook page. And if you would rock one of these,
let us know,
and you will be entered, and you don't have to pay anything. And if you're
It's
close,
just a
I'll hand
raffle.
deliver it to you
It's just
for
a raffle.
free naked.
You have to be a slut though.
Right, you have to be a slut. And I'll hand deliver it naked if you're close by. If not, we can meet at the Motel 6. But yeah, it's a Punk Unicorns podcast bumper sticker. And like I said,
What do we put it on? What part do we put it
You
on?
can put it anywhere. You just take this back part off, right? And then you stick that part on, and then you take the little squeegee majiggy, and then you peel that back off, and then this will stay. I can help you with it before I leave.
Okay.
I'll help you with it. But yeah, I started thinking like, oh my God, what if I'm like sitting there at cheer at a baseball game, and one of the football players are like, I heard you talking about a big hairy cock, and they're like in the 6th grade, and I'm like, oh, how did you hear about that? Oh, the bumper sticker on your car. So while I would love, love, love for this to be on my car, I would love for it to be on your car. So watch for the post on our Facebook page for this later on today.
We'll let you know.
Later on today. All right, so weekly recap with Nikki B. But first, I want to say yesterday, happy birthday, Matthias, my nephew Matthias.
Okay, I was gonna be like, happy birthday.
Birthday, Matthias, yesterday, and then today is Watermelon's birthday. Hi, Watermelon, happy birthday! I sent them both.
Watermelon birthday.
I sent them both videos yesterday. So anyway, go ahead, Nikki B.
We had a good week at work this week. We had a couple slow days, which was nice because it's been really crazy for a month straight. A bunch of people were on vacation this week, so it was kind of like
Skeleton crew?
Yeah, a little stressful because we just did not have enough people any of the days, especially in the back of the house. Kudos to all my managers at work who were doing like 3 positions in one for a week straight.
Can't even imagine.
Yeah, like, okay, you're gonna pull orders, you're also gonna help on the floor, and you're also gonna do the breaks for curbside and the front desk. Yeah, so it's like, okay, that's 3 different shifts in one day.
I'm thinking about starting to do the DoorDash thing, but then again,
It's hard to compete with them DoorDashers because them motherfuckers be coming in the disco
like
all the
flies,
time.
man. You can DoorDash weed?
No, they just come in every day for recreational reasons.
Oh, I see. And then I thought about like grocery shopping for people because then that will like give you exercise along with, what have you. So I thought about doing that.
Instacart's fun. I made good money doing Instacart, but you have to like, I don't want to say it's better to take one whole day and work like 14 hours than it is to try to do a couple hours every day. Because you're more likely to make $180 in tips that day, but you're not going to make $180 split between 2-hour shifts 5 days a week.
Got it.
But I loved it.
Hey, did you do this?
Mm-hmm. I did do that.
I must have spaced out.
You're like, shit.
Shit, damn it.
Titty shit.
But you know what? Speaking of gifts, at the football game this weekend,
like regular gifts, not like GIFs?
No, not GIF, GIFTF. FTF. My best friend Bert showed up at the football game, and she brought this thing that looks like the guillotine. Like if you put your finger in there, you'd probably chop it off. But she said, I got this for you. And I'm like,
Oh my God.
But she
it's so
said
cute.
that she wants me and Nikki B to punk it out. We may not get to it today, but we are going to punk this guy out before the next podcast.
Oh yeah, it's gonna have some tattoos.
Mm-hmm. Face tattoos like Post Malone's.
Some dreadlocks.
Yeah, I'll put some braids in there, maybe a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe put the gay rainbow and the unicorn.
It'd be cool if we could
That's ribbed for her pleasure, you can tell it.
cut off the top of a Barbie head and glue it back here, and then style all the hair up and over it.
Oh, the options are just absolutely endless.
We used to destroy Barbies all the time to use them for art. Me and Charles Webb.
Chucky, how's he doing?
He is still in purgatory in Kentucky, going slowly crazy.
Well, when he finally flips out, it's not like we didn't see it coming. I'm gonna have to take this off because the claws of this damn beast are clawing into my fingers. It's a pretty ring, but you know, it hurts a little bit.
It's made so that by the end of the day, you've got blood dripping down your finger, and you'll be like, look, I'm like Christ.
Yeah! I don't think he bled from his finger, though.
Oh, well, his hand, same difference.
God, I want to talk about something so bad. So, I just want to touch on this again. My mother is still with us. My birth mother is still with us. And my grandmother, bless her heart, she's very, very conservative. Very, very conservative. Very.
So we should tag her in the next Punk Unicorn.
Oh my God,
podcast.
no, I hope she never clicks on that link because I'll never hear the end of it. Not that I give a shit. But, she and I were discussing my mom, and all of a sudden I get a message saying, hey, me and your aunt were just talking, and we're really... God, my mother's spirit is overtaking me right now because my mom and I were very similar in this aspect. And my grandma was like, we were just wondering, whenever your mom found out she was sick, your aunt said she was going to send her prayers, and she said she didn't want any prayers. Hey, so she said, we're wondering, was your mother saved? That's the face that I made. And I was like, so my response to that was, and I'm paraphrasing here because I can't remember exactly what I said, but basically I told her, you know what, fuck it, I'll just tell you what I said because I can't even remember.
Like, actually,
I can't remember exactly how. Okay, hold on.
We are good, hell yes.
I said,
I'm gonna grab something real quick.
Okay, I said I don't think she was saved, but I don't believe in all that jazz. She will go where she's supposed to be. And my response was, okay, thanks, which is an absolute perfect response. Keep it short and sweet. Don't get me all riled up, because that'll never end well. Don't get me all riled up.
Don't get me all riled up, especially.
Yeah, she said,
it's a bad time to take advantage of people.
Your aunt and I have a question that's hard to ask, but do you know if your mom has been saved? She told your aunt once she didn't want prayers. And then I said, no, I don't think she was. I said, I don't think she was saved, but I don't believe in that jazz, and she will go where she's supposed to be. My mom is and was an amazing person. Like, did she do some things that were questionable? Hell yeah, but we all have. So for me to be asked that question of all people is just hilarious to me. Absolutely hilarious. But I digress. So last week after I left here, Got about 10 minutes down the road, and I get a voice message from Nikki B going, "Oh my God, we forgot to talk about Puffy getting locked up."
Oh, I was just thinking that in my head because we didn't go over that before this. I was like, oh my God, we didn't talk about Puffy again.
I did not know.
Shit. We're going to have a whole episode
Because I was like, dude, I said, did you just find this out? Well, no, it had been on the internet for a while. But he had seen it before but forgot to bring it up.
It was like one of those right before bed things.
Right. And I was like, and I came home and saw it and I was like, oh my God. So yeah, Diddy arrested, bail denied. Charges are racketeering, conspiracy, sex trafficking. Of course, he's pleading not guilty. Not guilty. Bye-bye Puffy, hello Sucky.
So yeah, we've got so many points to cover on that one. First one. Thousands.
You better hope they sell that shit at commissary.
For lube. They're going to be like official limited edition lube seized.
He's going to be on the cover of the lube, like on the cover of the Wheaties cereal back in the day.
It'll show him pouring it into a bowl with some like GHB tablets falling in it. Oh my goodness. And then the only thing I could think of was like, you know that they used KY in the Matrix for the electric pods when they were found out they were really in stasis and in a simulation when they first wake up.
Okay.
So they had to order special industrial sized drums full of lube for the movie because they did fill it up by buying things, but they had to buy like 32,000 of them or something to fill up the thing. So they had to contact the company.
You mean probably him. He probably owns stock in it.
Right. And then what else? Oh, all the CEOs of all the companies.
Go ahead. What was that?
There's a bunch of CEOs that all resigned right after Diddy came out.
And you know what else? Something else happened.
Because they're about to go down too. And Diddy, they know that he's going to sing like a...
And here's the thing that kind of worries me. Usher and Pink, my homegirl.
I know. I'm just praying that Snoop Dogg and Missy make it through this unscathed. I will be devastated.
Oh my God.
Especially if Missy. Now, Snoop Dogg, I won't be devastated, but I like him a lot.
One of their accounts, Usher and Peak, like their accounts just totally disappeared after he got arrested. But then they said it was a glitch, or I don't know if she said anything, but I know Usher said it was like a glitch or something, or a hacker. But like I said, I really, really hope.
I
if
know,
my girl's
saying,
involved, I will be so fucking heartbroken. I can't see it though.
They're already saying Mariah and Jay-Z are going to go down too.
Oh, I can see that. And
like,
J-Lo, yeah.
But here's the thing though. I'm a big guilty by association person. If you can't just say no and not have shitty friends, then you are just as guilty.
You're just as shitty, yeah.
Like, you know, you don't...
My dad always said, you roll in shit, you'll start to smell like it.
Exactly. Roll in shit and you'll smell like it. True. That's just how it is. And you know what? That's going to destroy that industry. But it's also going to be great for all the young up-and-coming people that don't want to do sex acts to get record contracts.
True.
Which should never be an issue. Thank God. This is why I love the internet, y'all. Because Kat and I aren't sucking anybody's dick to do a podcast. We just do it in my motherfucking garage. You know what I mean?
Right.
We suck our own dicks.
Like I prefer my own. I mean, I know what I like. I know what I like.
I know what I like. I like coffee, vacations at Put-in Bay.
And giving myself
head.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Basically.
It's the very first job ever before prostitution.
So they put Diddy on a suicide watch because they denied him bail. But guess
Hashtag Epstein alert.
Same jail Epstein was in. Which you didn't know? Yes, this is the same jail.
So that's an Illuminati jail. Okay.
Yeah, he's being held in the Metropolitan Detention Center, and it's the only federal jail in New York City, and it's the same one that Epstein was in. The jail.
I bet he got the same motherfucking guards too.
Well, right now they have him in. Okay, I'll get there. So the jail,
suite, the master suite.
Basically, the jail is known for being short-staffed, multiple deaths, dangerous and sometimes barbaric conditions. Some judges even will absolutely refuse to send their worst people there.
Well, I mean, I can see that because
The first week,
that's scary.
Diddy was 23 out of 24 on lockdown. So he was in a protected area. He was only allowed out 1 hour a day. And that's standard for high profile inmates. But the lawyers want him to move to some swanky one in Jersey.
Well, because right now he's also detoxing.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, shit. So he's ready to
His booty is already relaxed or clenching up. See, when he was out, his booty was totally relaxed. He was flopping that thing around everywhere. Like, look at me. And now it's all clenched up because he know that it was fun and games when he been over in the real lives, but now he in the prison system. He's in the jail. He in the jailhouse now.
I am real bad about the ins and outs of hip hop rap history. Did he have something to do with Tupac's death?
Oh, I'll guarantee it.
Okay. I know that's like
Guarantee
a
it.
stupid question. Okay.
I'm just hoping that
So
there's
that means
something.
people are going to get him in prison because Tupac should be president right now as far as most Gen Xers are concerned.
Oh,
So,
we can just set a picture of him in the Oval Office and he'll do better than what's happening now.
I know that's the truth.
Shit.
But, yeah, Diddy is going to get it. Because right now, he could potentially blow the lid off of
So many people.
all that stuff that was connected to the only person they really let go down for Epstein Island, Prince, was it? I don't want to Andrew. I don't want to say the wrong prince, but I think it was Prince Andrew. And Diddy's connected to all that too.
All that. And then DJT, you know who I'm talking about. Former president
His
DJT, Donald J. Trump, is affiliated with that.
Oh, he absolutely.
And he said, I don't know who he is. He's just some rapper. I don't know who he is. But then all these pictures surfaced of him. Like,
But he's the one person that I could actually. I never make excuses for that person. I could see him not knowing who the fuck he's ever met.
because he's that, yeah.
Because he's such a narcissist that he's gonna be like.
That's a valid
in his
point.
head, Diddy is
Nobody.
some rapper. That is literally the folder that is in.
Yeah, like
that
beneath
person's
something
head.
beneath him.
Right. He is like. But really, like, when you find out how rich Diddy and Jay-Z and Beyonce are, dude, they're just as rich as Silicon Valley moguls. They legit, like, run some shit.
And they can hide and cover their tracks, but
You know what? I think
evidently not that great.
country music obviously has its own branch of Illuminati
True.
that is separate from the rest of the branches. They totally snubbed Beyonce. They're like, you do not get a free pass to come board our cruise ship.
No.
You stay on your cruise ship,
I heard
even
you
though
got
it's
COVID.
going down.
Yes, we're not
Right.
bringing COVID on the cruise ship. No.
Right, you can't
No.
come on our cruise ship, sister, because we don't shit where we eat like y'all.
Speaking
Fucking
of
having parties at your own home.
Right.
I can understand renting a fucking Singaporean island or some
Right.
shit in Malaysia, but
yeah,
like
you don't.
Los
you don't-
Angeles.
you just don't do that. Go to Dubai.
Yeah, go to Dubai where they pretend to hate everything.
I mean, shit. So, speaking of what the fuck, over the weekend, in the land of Kathy's What the Fuck of the Week,
What the fuck of the week?
I began watching this true crime story called Into the Fire, The Lost Daughter. Child, there is something about a bitch named Kathy.
I know some bitches named Kathy, but they're gone, so I won't talk shit about them.
No, this is a good something about a bitch named Kathy. So this lady named Kathy, okay, she's 16 years old, and she gives birth to a little girl.
16?
Yeah.
Okay.
She gives birth to a little girl. She names her Alexis.
Hi, Alexis.
And she...
I don't know the story at all.
Yeah,
so.
obviously.
So this is going to be great.
Oh, God. Any tits. So she has the baby. She names her Alexis, and by the time the baby's 9 months old, she realizes, I can't care for this baby the way she needs to be cared for, so I'm going to put her up for adoption. It was
Bye, Alexis.
Oh, Nick. Oh, Nick. This is as bad as you talking about beating the fucking dog's eyeballs out of socket last week.
Oh, God. Well, that's a Chihuahua, and they always look like that.
So anyway, so Alexis gets adopted by Dennis and Brenda Bowman, and her name is changed to Andrea.
Dennis and Brenda. Those are some really weird names.
Buckle up, bitch. So anyway, after several years go by, you know, normally you would think as a parent that gave a child up for adoption that eventually that child will come looking for you.
Right.
Well,
for medical reasons or personal.
For any reason, right. So, being the curious person she was, Kathy, which is the mother that gave her daughter Alexis up for adoption, that then became Andrea. I will continue to refer to her as Andrea now.
Okay, so.
So she goes on this quest to find Andrea. Long story short, she finds out who adopted her.
Yeah, you told me this part. Oh, this is horrible.
Not only does she find out who adopted her, but she finds out that 21 years prior, when Andrea was 14, she came up missing. And she has been missing for 21 years. Now, there's just something about a mommy's intuition. And Kathy, the birth mother,
she just felt like the connection was going or something. She
felt like the light is no longer flickering. Her baby was gone, deceased. Not only deceased, but buried in the backyard of the Bowman's home. And she wanted to tell anyone who would listen to her. I don't know how I know this, but I know that. And the people were like, well, we can't just go tear up people's yards on a hunch. You know, we have to have something. No, you've got to have
some kind of...
Yeah, she was like, look, they know what happened to her. They killed her and buried her in the backyard. Well, they lived in House A when Andrea came up missing. And I'll say 5 years after, they moved to a new house. Okay? But now, Kathy, the birth mom, was at this new house. Like, no, she's back here.
At the old house?
No, the new house.
So they dug her up and took her with?
And moved her when they moved. It all came about. But now, it turns out that the adopted father, Dennis, was molesting her, okay, and she was getting ready to run away from home. This is the story that he's given after multiple stories. And this is the most, I guess, conceivable. He said she was going to run away, and he had taken his wife, Brenda, who was the biggest dumbass this side of the fucking Mississippi.
Brenda, fuck you.
Oh my gosh, she swore she didn't know anything was happening. Fuck you, Brenda, because you
did.
Bullshit.
You can tell by body language when a man has touched someone.
So he says, you know, he drops Brenda off at work, and he's, after that point, they had a baby, so he had the baby with him. He comes home, realizes Andrea is trying to run away from home, and he's like, you're not going anywhere, and she said that she was going to tell everybody that he was molesting her, and I think he said he hit her and she fell downstairs and broke her neck. And he wanted to hide her body, so he went and got like a barrel. He said, I put her in the barrel and she didn't fit, so I had to cut her legs off. So then he buried her in the backyard, just like the birth mother said. Now, not only that, the birth mother has a lawyer now. And she's going over like fucking drone footage from like Google Earth and everything.
The lawyer or the mom?
The mom, the birth mom, bio mom. She is on a mission
she's
now.
Like,
I said there is something about a bitch named Kathy. We will keep going. So she's showing the fucking police this shit. Like, look at this image. See that spot right there? Why does this spot keep changing? Now look at this. Why does this spot keep changing?
So she saw the footage of the grass probably dying after it was freshly planted, then being dug up, replanted, then the spot in the new backyard coming. So they must have sold the fucking house.
They sold the house.
And somehow he dug
and
it
before
up.
they moved to the new house, because that's what the wife kept saying. There's no way, because when she come up missing, we lived in this house, and now we live in this house. There's no way she's here. Well, they got a search warrant to dig up this house and obviously didn't find anything. And Kathy's like, it's not at this fucking house. She's not there no more. They moved her. I showed you because of the, the aerial footage. Look.
Here's the dead grass at the new place.
And the whole time I'm like, why is it just the birth mother that's seeing it? Finally, she gets somebody to listen to her. And they end up getting dude's DNA somehow. Well, they start connecting the dots to other fucking cases that this dude's been a part of. He has sexually assaulted, he has killed, he has all of the above. So now they have enough to take him into jail on those charges because they have his DNA on those charges, but they don't have any evidence supporting the murder of Andrea and the birth mother saying, I know this motherfucker killed my daughter. And finally, he said, yes, I killed her. I put her in the barrel. She wouldn't fit and I cut her legs off. But from the evidence that I saw on what I watched, it seems like there was a lot more bags than just, hey, I cut her legs off. I think there was more to it than that.
He was trying to Dexter that shit.
Yeah. So, but he did say... He told his wife so many stories after he admitted that he killed her. That first he said that he made I forget what the first story was, and that his wife got upset, so he made up another story. No, I took her to a cemetery, and I even buried her nice and neat, and da-da-da. And then he finally came out and said, because what they did was they trapped him. I know he was in Virginia for one, and I'll say Michigan. I don't know if that's the one or not.
Was it like work? He was on work or something when he did these things?
I don't know. I don't remember.
I just can't imagine someone driving all the way to Michigan just to commit a crime.
Oh, no. What I was saying is he's in jail, and I'll say in Virginia is where this happened, okay? And his wife lives in Virginia, but these other charges that he has is in another state. Okay, and he's saying, I wasn't there, but here he was in, I'll say, the Navy, and one of his weekend things was over here while this murder was taking place. So they pegged him here. So they tricked him and they said, look, if you tell us where Andrea is, we can talk to the judge and say, hey, let's keep him here in Virginia next to his wife so his wife can visit him. So, of course, the dumb fuck tells him everything. Like, yeah, I killed her, put her in the barrel, buried her in the backyard, and then when we sold the house, I dug her up and took her to the new house and buried her in the backyard so she could be close to my wife and I.
You know how fucked up that is? Like,
very much fucked up.
So he wasn't trying to get away with it. He wanted her close.
Well, he was getting away with it, and what I don't understand is that one part he says, when the police actually first came to the house, according to him, she was wrapped up in a blanket out in the shed. Why the fuck did they go look?
Because...
So that had to have been bullshit.
Oh, well, then the cops need to get in trouble for that.
Yeah.
For not going out to check the shed.
Oh, yeah. And his wife, man, every time she would talk or I'd hear her voice, I'd just want to stab myself in the eyeball. And then, of all things, oh my God, at the very end, so they end up finding the girl's body, okay, in pieces. After, 30 years, 21 years, whatever. They find her. They send her off to be cremated, okay? Now, technically, that's Kathy's birth daughter, but she gave her up for adoption to Brenda.
Brenda got the ashes.
But it's one of those things where, let's say you and I had a child together, okay? Like, you were a heterosexual for a minute. And we had a baby together, and we said, we're going to split the baby in half. Okay, you want to take the top half or the bottom half? After this was all said and done, and the guy got his, 2 life sentences in another state, they didn't even keep the promise to him. get the fuck out, man.
We don't want you in our
Right,
system.
we don't want you in our state.
Because you'll get killed.
No.
We want you to actually be punished.
So she walks out of that courtroom and somebody grabs her and says, hey, I have something for you. That Brenda split that baby's ashes up between her and the mom and the birth mom. Birth mom was like, look, I would rather give those ashes back to her to keep my baby whole again. It's like they're cutting her up again. And I can totally understand that. So she said her next thing is she's going to take her to court to get all of her ashes. And I don't fucking blame her.
Yeah, that
because you can't tell me you didn't know, Brenda.
And Brenda, yeah, you did know. God.
Just like when Tom Cruise came over here and discovered Christopher Columbus. You knew, Brenda.
Mm-hmm.
You fucking knew.
Yeah, you knew.
Just like you know when you're got a date at 8 p.m., you start washing your puss at 8 a.m. That's proper sex prep.
Oh yeah, proper sex prep.
Do you like that segue?
Yeah, right into that. Because, you know, you got them people that are like, I'm ready for sex at all times. No, you're not.
Mm-mm.
Because there's this thing called a taint, and it smells like turds sometimes, especially if you farted or took a shit that day.
We talked about that. If you fart, you do know that it's just turd trajections, little microscopic turd trajectories.
They fly out of your asshole like.
That's why you gotta wash your bedding a lot, like especially if you sleep nude.
Yeah, and if you sleep nude, think of all the times you fart and you're in bed. And that's not a held back fart.
My husband probably has dingleberries on his leg hairs.
Yeah, exactly. Because you're relaxed when you fart.
Very much.
In bed. So there's a clap back and everything as it all comes in and flies out. Yeah, and then you shit all over your sheets and you're like, what's going on? Why do I smell farts real bad?
Oh, wouldn't that be awful if you were on a date with somebody and they sat on your bed and they farted and then they got up and then there was a big old shat stain on it? Have you ever had something weird or strange happen to you while on a date? We asked that of our viewers, and we have got some good ones for you.
For you. For you.
For you.
Ooh, there's more comments since our first one. Okay, this one is so wild.
Ah, I like this.
Okay, this is from... What was the name she wanted?
It should be on there, isn't it?
I think it's under the other one. Okay, there we go. This one comes from Anita Beaver Chaser from Union, Ohio. A first date story. A grown man with a full colostomy bag, wow, up to her house in a taxi with dead flowers, told her he loved her, to which she replied, oh, I love cake. And this is so bizarre. And then the dude gave her brother some Pokemon cards.
Pikachu, I choose you.
And all this happened because of Yahoo Chats. And I will agree with Anita. Yahoo Chats was fucked up.
I know, I
and AOL.
AOL Chats was my gig.
That was some shit going on.
I was on that big girl site, girl. I know. Ciao.
That is just weird. So, first off, I'm not knocking people that have a colostomy bag. But if you're on a date and you have a colostomy bag, it should probably
be discussed prior to the date.
Right, and it should be completely empty. Like, you should literally be changing it right before you go on your date.
And you should know your own shit schedule. A colostomy bag is just like an asshole on your belly.
Right.
So you should know when you should, it usually comes out about 2:45. I mean, I have a friend with an ostomy bag. I mean, I can double check. My friend, my brain Lauren. My friend Lauren has an ostomy bag.
Yeah, I can imagine that. I mean, that's a big deal. Let's see. Oh God, that's so terrible. I can't get over the dead flowers. Oh, here we go. We have here someone that says he asked me to marry him on the first date.
And wouldn't it be weird if you were coming out of the bathroom after you was just taking a shit and he was like standing there like this, and then when you come out of the bathroom he got down on one knee and asked you to marry him? And ironically enough, you worked with him.
So he was listening to you take a shit.
Wow. Yeah, that was me. Let's just start. I started a job at a lumber factory when I was very young, and he was the first person I saw. But when I asked for my supervisor, who was also like a good friend of my dad, I guess he fell in love at first sight and like got really almost stalker-ish creepy with me. But he always had money and he always had weed, and I'm like, that's a good combo, right? So when he was like, oh, well, let's go out, and I'm like, sure. So I took him to my friend's house. And we're just like hanging out and everything, and he's just all like touchy-feely, which I'm not like a touchy-feely person. And I'm just like, oh, okay. And then I'm like, I gotta go to the bathroom, and I go to the bathroom, and as I'm coming out, I open the door and I'm washing my hands. I see him out of my peripheral vision, and he's just like leaned up against the wall, and I'm like, you good? And he's like, oh, I've never been better. He said, I really love you, and got down. He's like, one day I'll have a ring for you. Will you please marry me? And I'm like, Mary Beth? Can you?
Okay, that's a lot to unpack.
I just yelled for my friend, and I'm like, can you just? Oh God, yeah, it was done and over with at that point. So yeah. Moving on.
Okay, here's another one. Went on a date, we started kissing, and the next thing I know, he came in his pants.
That's some Forrest Gump shit right there.
For real, because I bet that's happened to a lot of people. They're like, whoa. You know, here's just a...
It's happened to me.
In case you're a beginner and you didn't know, if you're an early comer, take care of that before you go. Because then when you actually go on the date and you're getting some, you'll last a lot longer. Just a heads up.
The more you know. Lovely.
God. I really only thought that ever happened in movies. So when it happened to me, I was like, what the fuck?
Oh wait, I think I have a story.
You sent it to me already. That's what I was getting to. Or is this different?
No, this is a different one that I
okay.
just received. I got one with atrocious working memory, crazy behavior, rough sex that required a hospital visit after the most awkward afterward. No VD. Wow, that's a lot.
That's creepy.
I just read that live on the podcast, and that's a whole lot right there. Wow. I don't know if we need any. I don't even think we need you to elaborate. We'll call you Travis. We'll call you Travis. Travis, I don't think I need you to elaborate much. And you're typing, so I'm just going to lay this down because I don't want to know.
You're like, please don't tell me.
That's a lot to unload. Whew.
Ooh, here's a continuation of that one. This motherfucker jumped out of a lifted truck and damn near bounced. He was 5'3" and looking like a redneck Oompa Loompa. That is such an interesting
Visual, isn't it?
Oh, I love that because I can see all of that in my head right now.
Wow.
Every bit of it.
Nice.
Okay. Oh yeah, we said we were gonna skip that part.
Oh God, he's still typing.
Went on a date. The guy waited until the check came and said, "Oh no, we are separate." That's kind of awkward.
That is. I'd
Like,
be like, excuse me, sir. No, the fuck we ain't.
If you ask someone on a date,
You are paying.
you're paying. If you ask someone, hey, do you want to hang out sometime, you're paying separately. But if you're actually
Right.
like,
Hey, do
on
you
a
want to meet
date-
up at? Yeah.
a date, just pay for it.
Right.
And
Like,
the
hey,
next
Nick,
one,
let's go have lunch. If I say, hey, Nick, let's go have lunch at so-and-so, if I'm initiating the lunch date, I'm paying for the lunch date.
Right, that's just a given, y'all.
It's a
You
given.
don't even
It's
have
common.
to ask.
It's common sense, people. Use your freaking noodle.
Because if you're not going to pay, you need to be different about it. Be like, hey, do you
It
want
needs to
do
be
something
discussed
tomorrow?
prior. Yeah. How
you-
we pay. Are you going to pay?
Right.
Am I going to pay? Are we going to split the pay? What?
Ooh, this one was kind of... Yeah, went on a date when I was 20, and me and this guy were making out, and he grabbed my hand, he put it down his pants, and his schlong was the size of a Cheeto. Not the puff kind, but the crunchy kind. Well, that's...
Like a deflated balloon.
That sounds very awkward, but at least you found out you didn't want to continue fooling around with him after that.
Right. And at least they weren't flaming hot, because I'm pretty sure after you touched it, you went...
Right.
And you could have burned your eyes on that flaming hot fucker.
Right, and then you was wondering, like...
Then you would have
How did
never
I
lived
get
to see
pink
another
eye?
dick. I'm so fortunate to live to see another dick.
Oh God, here's another one.
I know, and we've got follow-up still going on this one, typing. We still got one typing over here.
Oh, I can't wait. And we made her stop working to do that, you guys. Okay.
This may or may not be the spouse of
Oh, the one I'm getting ready to
the
read?
one that you're reading. You got one spouse and I got the other typing.
Ended up with a stalker once.
Oh no, that's not good. I had one of those.
I have two. I've had several actually.
How
Went
many?
on a date and this guy clearly used the photos that were at least 10 years old on his profile.
That's a
really
no-no.
bad because everybody got a phone. You can't lie and say I don't have pics now.
Well, that was when she was 20 and she's like, so it's been like 20 years. We didn't have great phones then. Okay, I got an update.
Okay.
Are you? No, go ahead. Go ahead. Because we still got
so
typing.
He
going
showed
on.
up in dirty clothes, and his shoes were damn near talking. You know, like flip flopping. And after the pizza, he wanted to go back to his apartment. I said no. He was persistent, but not in a weird way. He just wanted to hang out. The second I walked in the apartment, everything looked worse than he did. So I said, no, I'm good. Next thing I know, he's finding me on Facebook, Instagram, Snapchat, leaving me messages about how he loves me.
Ooh, that's just weird.
Yeah, that's really weird because you've got to have a clean apartment if people's coming over to
Let me
your
put my
house.
glasses on. Travis, whatever I named you. What the fuck? Now, I just learned a little way too much about this person that I needed to know, but that's interesting. She kept asking for it to be harder, the act itself. So I accidentally dislocated her cervix and poked out through the vaginal wall, and it looked like a murder. She was freaking out. I was freaking out. Had no idea what to do. We had been dating for a month or so. It was the first time I hit it. She pushed me out the door. She pushed me out the door and accused me of cheating the next day. She literally forgot that I was married and had another woman as well. The friend that I'm speaking of is polyamorous. I didn't know about the damage done for over a year. Ran into her at Aldi and she explained and apologized. Said she ghosted me, but she flipped out. But what can you do? Guess you can say I knocked the bottom out of it. You're a fucking...
Wow. Oh.
What'd I do?
The unicorn fell.
Oh my god.
Yeah, you did knock the bottom out. I'm glad she can still walk.
Just knowing that makes my uvula hurt.
What's my uvula? Do I have a uvula?
You have a uvula.
Okay.
It's that little dangly thing in the back of your throat.
Oh, like this.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, like the song.
Like the song.
Mm-hmm. I can hear her saying it now.
Well, you just got a live version of all of that on the podcast because we are currently recording at the moment. And both of our uvulas are hurting. God damn.
That's some
That
shit.
means, well, he's a pretty tall fella. So that makes a lot of sense.
That's a big PP.
Some guys have all the luck.
I think big PPs were made for like ancient giants or something, and they're extra large vaginas.
The cave women and,
Yes.
and they're deep and wide. They're deep and wide.
Yeah, they had Klingon vaginas. Went from belly button to butthole.
You know, I've never had this in depth of a conversation with that person before. And and all the things are just making me laugh. Like all the things.
Everything at the same
I
time.
love the guy. I love the guy. Okay, so
Oh.
I don't think I'll ever look at you the same. Trevor, Travis, whatever the fuck I named you.
Trevor.
That's weird because that's my brother's name, but
I knew a Trevor once. He was a dirty hot. Second
Aw.
time ever talking to him.
I'm sure my brother was a daddy.
He
hot
showed
one.
pictures of his cock and his boyfriend's cock to me and a coworker. And she's a lesbian.
Were they were they?
Oh, they were hot pictures.
But I mean, the pictures, were they playing wieners? Were they wienering like
Yes,
this? Was
they-
it like the
one of them
the
they were
sword
hot
fights?
dogging.
They were hot dogging it.
Yeah, and that was the first time said lesbian coworker had ever seen a penis. So I didn't know it was such a traumatic experience for her because I told her,
Well, they're not that attractive. I mean, I've never just gotten old.
She's gold star.
Like,
she's all the way.
I've never looked at a nude man and just been like, no. I'm just like, we're gonna get this over with or what? I've got naps to take.
You're like, I have naps to take. Could you please hurry?
So, this week, we have another sponsor.
We do.
But this sponsor is for 21 and older.
Mhm.
And please, please, please drink responsibly. You can have your very, very own cyanide flask. This one here was sent to us by Cyanide or Us.
Yeah.
And it is,
It
they
comes
haven't
with my
sent me
name
mine yet
burnt
because,
into it. See, it says Nicholas.
yes, it says Nicholas. They haven't sent me mine yet due to the fact that they need to run a background check after all the things I've said about killing people with alcohol. And all I said is just don't lay them on their side, roll them on their back and pray for a miracle. But just don't do this because somebody you don't like. Do it because they're hurting your feelings. But what you can do is you can put a really heavy liquor in this, right? And you can hide it anywhere. You can hide it in your tit. See? I bet you don't even see it.
No, I
Do
don't.
you see it? And he's really looking.
No, I don't.
Because
see
none
it.
of this does nothing. So he's really looking.
It hides right
I
in your
mean,
titties.
it right in your tit talks. I mean, you could put it sideways.
Now they might.
And you might see it then. But now, if you don't give a fuck like me, you can hide it like this and be like, what you doing later? I'm poisoning a motherfucker. What you doing later, bitch? And then just sit back with your flask and hold it. And every once in a while, pour out some for your homies in heaven. Just be careful. Don't pour it on anything alive because it will disintegrate and it'll burn a hole in your grass. So yes, get the flask of your dreams. The chloroform flask. Chloroform, chloroform, put him to sleep, you won't be bored no more with chloroform.
Available at Walgreens.
And don't forget, roll them on their back. Okay. So, once again, guys, we are going to post this on our Facebook page.
Yes.
If you are interested in being put in the drawing for the Punk Unicorns Boomper sticker, it should be on my car, but I work with fucking kids. Please comment.
I don't work with kids, so it'll be on my car.
Yes, we're going to put it on together after the podcast.
Yeah.
So this will go to a lucky viewer to put on their vehicle, but you have to send us a picture of it on your vehicle.
And you can't have a green car; it won't show
It
up.
won't show up because it's green and pink.
Yeah.
Okay, so don't
Yeah.
moron. Don't be a moron. And I am wearing a bra, see?
See, me too. Look at my bra.
Yeah, Frederick Jr.'s in there taking a nap. So, again,
Let us know if you want to be entered
let
in the
us
drawing.
know if you want to be in the drawing, and we'll put it on the Facebook page.
Yay.
And it's the Punk Unicorns Podcast. We will see you on Facebook.
Woot woot.
Bitch.